Hello friends, how are you? I am your instructor Asad Iqbal. Welcome to Let's Go. Now let's start. In this tutorial I am going to show you how we can pass an object as argument. So as we know, we can pass any variable to the method. As we know that object is a reference variable. It refers to its main class. So when we pass an object to the method, we actually pass the reference of that class to the method. So now let's start. I have created my project in NetBeans. So my project is Java test, and you see this is my package and this is main method, and I have also created an class box. So we use this box and use its properties to understand how we can pass the method, how we can pass an object to the method. So let's start. I have created an some instance variable of its class. So these are, we keep it private int width and private int height. So these are my variables. Now I have created an instructor as my, if you want to know what is instructor or how I can create an instructor, I have upload my tutorial on my channel. So I have now created the constructor. That constructor has the same name as the class. So, and I am going to pass two arguments of that class. So these are int a and int b. So this is my constructor. Now this keyword, I have also described what is this keyword. This keyword is used to refers to that the variable, instance variable of that class. So this keyword, this dot, you see it refers to all of these. So I am going to show this width is equal to a, you see, and I am again this dot height is equal to b. So this is my constructor, and now in the main class I have instantiate the object. So my class name is box and my object is obj is equal to new, and now I am calling the constructor, my two parameters constructor, that is I am passing the variables 4 and 5. That's it. Now you see this is my first constructor, and now I have created another object of that class, that is object 2 is equal to new, that is my, I'm calling the constructor and passing two values. So like this. Now I have created my class, and that are my instance variables, and that is my constructor, and I have also created my object, instantiate my objects with the two parameters constructor. So like this. Now in the class I'm going to create my method, that is public. The return type is void, and the name is equal to. So this is my method. Now in this method I am going to compare the values of the height of this constructor and the instance variable. So to know now is this. And now in this method I am going to pass the object. You see in the when we instantiate an object that here this is box and this, and from here to here it is called to creating an variable. So this class is the data type is used here as a data type, so we can use it as here because the object is an reference variable of the class, so the data type is used the class name. So the class name is box, and I give the name anything you want. I give the name ob. So now here I am going to call this object. So first of all I am going to write here some code that is this I already told this reference to the instance variable of the class. These are these, and this dot width is equal to ob dot width, and this I am going to keep it in if statement that I am going to check. Then if these are equal, then it is going to return true. You see there is a problem that I am going to return an boolean value, so the data type must be boolean. So boolean. You see there is red dots. Why? Because I am creating this method in constructor, so it must be out of the constructor. You see, I am going to drag and drop it here. You see now it's now here, and I am using AND operator and compare the width also, height also, and using this dot, this refers to the class. So height is equal to ob dot height. You see, here I am using else. Now in the main class I am going to pass the method. I am call the object by this reference and send it to that reference. So I am using obj, that is my this object. Through this object I am calling my method this and pass the other object as argument. So I am calling the equals to method and pass the object to as a reference, as a parameter. So like that. Now you see this method is return and value, that is boolean, true or false. So in the main I am going to apply conditions on this statement. You see if statement, that if this is true, that is default. So if we cannot in the Java, we no need to compare it to the true or false. True, because in the default this is true, so we can use it. And here I am going to print something on the screen, that is system dot out print. Here I am going to type both boxes are equal. So in else if the condition is false, so then it prints both boxes are not equal. You see, here I am going to describe something. You see, and we know that the object is a reference variable. So in the Java, when we pass the object to an method, we actually pass the reference to the method. So this is the data type, that is the class, and this is the variable. So in that, now when we call the method by this object, so we call the method by this object. So by this object we can access these variables width and height directly, and we pass the second object as argument. This is passed as argument as reference. So here the obj is reference of the second object, this one, and if we want, then we can access the object two instance variables by this. We cannot directly access that variables. So this is something I'm going to describe now. Let's start. You see, both boxes are not equal. Though it's successfully, we have passed our object as argument, and now you see it's working properly. Now again we are going to how in the next tutorial I am showing how we return an object from the method. So don't forget to subscribe my channel, like my FB page, that link is given below in the description, and take care of yourself. Goodbye.